some of the unaccounted for things requires moving the wreckage. You talked about how there's a pause if a person is recovered. How do you juggle that when those folks may be in the wreckage you're moving, or that wreckage may need to move in order to access those people?
Yeah, that's a great question. So how do we address the fact that there may be remains inside some portions of the wreckage that we're trying to recover? We walked through that in several rehearsals. We've talked through that with everyone who's been really kind of dealing with this tragic accident, the teams that have been in the water up to this point. What we're finding is, during our dive surveys, we really get a good appreciation of kind of where the wreckage is, where the lift points are, and at that same time, based on the type of equipment that we're bringing, and we're finding that we have a much better view of kind of what's in the wreckage than what we've seen with some of the other dive operations, really because we're really kind of taking a dive salvage approach. So when our divers go down there, they've got a much wider view on their helmet, and they also carry a HD camera that's supported by a support boat. So you've honestly got 4 or 5 sets of eyes looking inside of a wreckage at the same time. We already do have clear water, so that just kind of aids in that process. During our surveys, for instance, yesterday, they were able to identify 11 separate human remains as part of this effort, as part of their preparatory operation for dive. We do have a process where we will watching the lift as it happens, and then if there are remains in there that will not move while we're recovering the wreckage, we will bring that wreckage to the surface of the barge. Our process to immediately tent the barge to make sure that we have full discretion, and then we'll bring in the proper personnel to deal with that at that time.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next question.